And we are live for Euro 2020 daily roundups. And I have my friend and regular guest, Doug, who is a Scottish fan, and he's on here to help us with the analysis of what went wrong today for Scotland. And he would also chime in with what went wrong for Spain. And maybe if you have some time, you stay for the whole thing. Don't know how much time you have, but I know for sure that Doug would enlighten us some more about what went wrong in the game between his home country, Scotland, who were at home, and the Czech Republic. Doug, how are you feeling?
I think the term is feeling very chic right now, but it was disappointing. Let's say the least. But apart from that, I am doing very well, my friend. I hope you are doing well as well.
Yeah, long day, but you know how it is, man. When you are a grown up, no longer a child, no longer going to high school where all I have to do is homework. There's been a lot, plus still managing to watch all the games in secrecy while I'm at work, and now I'm home. I have to still be watching games, and the Copa America has started as well, and I'm not really getting to watch that. But as I said, some things gotta give. Big up to everybody in the chat. How's everybody feeling today? I'm ready, and we are ready to go. So, Doug, let's get into today's recap, today's roundup, whatever you want to call it. And just to touch on what's going on in each group. In Group A, Italy, top of the group, 1 game played. Switzerland, Wales tied on 1 point. Turkey rather disappointing without a point. Group B, Belgium and Finland with wins in their opening games. Denmark, unfortunately, without a win. They lost that game. That got halted due to a medical emergency. Russia without a point, playing on home soil. And yesterday we had some exciting games in Group C where Austria and Netherlands picked up wins. Ukraine and North Macedonia were on the losing ends. And this brings us to Group D, where we also had a game yesterday between England and Croatia. England defeated Croatia 1-0. And which brings us to the game between Scotland and the Czech Republic, where my prediction was a 1-1 draw. Doug, what was your prediction for this one?
2-1 Scotland.
I don't mean to laugh, but you guys are really over enthusiastic about this Scotland team. And for some reason, Doug, I realize the British fans, they're very over enthusiastic about their team's chances in every single competition, man. I could remember when I don't mean to laugh at you, okay? So but I remember when I did my first ever World Cup qualifiers prediction. The Irish fans were killing me, man. I didn't predict Ireland to go through, but they were killing me. But I don't mean to laugh. That was very insensitive of me, dog. You're my guest. I should treat you well. I do apologize, but it reminds me of the, like Liverpool and Liverpool fans, or not you, but Liverpool fans always predicting Liverpool to win and all. But look, my bad. It is just I feel bad for laughing at you, man, because your team lost today and you expected a win, but I predicted a draw, and the Czech Republic came out and they shocked the world. I knew they were capable of doing this, but in the fashion that they did it, it was amazing. Doug, let's get your thoughts on proceedings here.
It was a very frustrating game to watch because we actually started really, really well. We started out really brightly. Andy Robertson was the best player on the pitch for me. Obviously, from a Scotland side of things, Schick will, take the headlines for sure. But I thought we started very well. We had a couple of chances early on, and the goal before halftime was a big sickener because we actually did play very well. But if you don't take your chances, unfortunately, you're not going to score. and we had a possible penalty shot. I mean, I've seen them given the one on McTominay. It didn't look like a penalty with the first time you see it, but actually when you see it closely, there is contact. So that was very very tricky to take. But second half, we didn't start very well in the second half. They had a couple of chances, and then Jack Hendry decided to hit a shot from just outside the box, goes straight to Schick, and well, you have to just applaud the tenacity of Schick to see Marshall off his own line. And I have to say, I think the way that Schick played today, he was more clinical. Dykes had a chance, Christie had a chance, Robertson even had a chance. He could have gone low past the goalkeeper, but lots of positives to take from this game. Maybe not so the result, but the performance and the effort. You can't fault the team effort. You can't fault the team performance. But it's the hope that kills you, and that's what's happened today. It's the hope that kills you.
Yeah. Scotland haven't been at a major tournament since 1998. Last Euros in 1996. This is before a lot of the Scottish players were born, and this is big for you guys, man, because that's a very very long absence, and for you to get back to the tournament with high expectations, lucky to play the games at home. Like, you guys do have a game against England at Wembley, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's Croatia, Hampden Park.
Yeah, so you have 2 games at home and one basically at home, but it's next door, basically. Next door
Yeah.
neighbors. Still
Pretty
feels
much.
still pretty much feels like home. So I have notes. I have notes from this game, and Scotland, they didn't start the game out too badly. But Patrick Schick started troubling the Scottish team very, very early in the game. 15th minute, shot saved by goalkeeper Marshall, the Derby County player who made his debut for Scotland back in 2004. So 17-year veteran of the national team. Do you think this David Marshall, David is his first name, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, David Marshall is the best option for you guys in goal. Do you think so?
Look, I think the one thing you can say, Craig Gordon has had a good season at Hearts. He was a very good Scottish goalkeeper. Unfortunately, at this moment in time, you could probably say that David Marshall was the guy that actually got us to the Euros in the first place. So you'd have to probably start David Marshall. But you've obviously, the problem we have with goalkeepers right now, I think David Marshall's coming up towards, I think, his 36th or 37th birthday. Craig Gordon's 36, and I think John McLaughlin, the other one, is I think 31. So we haven't actually got any good up and coming goalkeepers coming through the Scottish ranks, so that's a big concern. So probably the best option is probably David Marshall right now.
Yeah, because that's what I was getting at. Because when you look at this Scottish team, there's not much quality really, apart from when you see Andy Robertson and you see the guys who do play in the Premier League. The other guys in the team, I'm like, who are these guys? Seriously. Like Lyndon Dykes, I never heard of this guy ever in my life. Seriously. And I'm thinking if you had some more quality in the team, this game could have turned out to be a whole different thing. And maybe Scotland could have got something out of this. Maybe the guys who play locally in Scotland aren't at the quality to compete in the Euros. That's just what I got from this, because the Czech Republic, they were very resilient. They played very well off the ball, and they had a game plan. They executed it down to the T, and Scotland were punished. Not a lot of big chances in the first half, but Robertson, he had a brilliant a shot saved by Vasilik, who is a top class goalkeeper who does play for Sevilla. So there's quality there in the Czech Republican team, and we know of Kufal, and we know of Shusek, and we know of Kral, and we know if no one knew of Patrick Schick, now they know who Schick is, and not only from those Gillette commercial, there is a player by the name of Schick. You see what I'm saying? So, so I think Scotland were on top for the first 30 minutes of the game, and the Czech Republic were more under pressure. But it seems like they're a type of team that deals with pressure very well. They're very pragmatic, and they're willing, as I said, to sit back without the ball and take whatever chance they got. And they took a brilliant chance in the 42nd minute. It was a recycled ball from a corner. Scotland didn't deal with the second ball. Cross came in. I think that was from Kufal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is the thing with Czech Republic. They're so good on set plays. I mean, you've got Sofal, who's had a magnificent season at West Ham, putting a ball in like that. You just got to say fair play. But yeah, Grant Hanley should have done better.
Big up to Adam the Great for dropping the super chat. He says, and that goal by Schick, oh my God, goal of the tournament thus far. No doubt, unless Modric scores a worldie again, I'm kind of scared to play Czech Republic. And this is a Croatian fan. I like the context that we have right now. A Croatian fan chiming in. They play the Czech. I think they play the Czech Republic next in this group. And yeah, and England play Scotland next. So that 42nd minute goal by Patrick Schick headed in past David Marshall. It knocked the stuffing out of this Scotland team, and it was mostly against the run of play that they scored this goal. And the Czechs led 1-0 at halftime. So I was kind of towards the halftime. I had a call came in. My first daughter's mom called me. She had a little bit of car problems, and I am a mechanic by trade, Doug. If you don't remember. And I had to basically diagnose the car remotely and get her back going because she had a dead battery, but she did not realize she had a dead battery. She didn't really know the signs to look for and everything. And I sent her on to get a new battery, and that at least I did a good deed today. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. At least I did a good deed. So I kind of missed the back end of the first half, but I don't think I actually missed anything. The second half started 49 minutes. Vaclic with an acrobatic save. Do you remember that almost own goal by the Czech Republic?
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I was a goalkeeper in my youth, and I was always told that if you're backpedaling to try and stop a shot going deflected off your defender, then it's a wonderful save. You have to say. But I actually thought Vaclic actually had a very good game today. Made some very, very good saves.
Doug, for the people who don't know, tell them how tall are you?
6'5".
Wow, man. Goalkeeper. Definitely. I'm not surprised. I didn't know you were a goalkeeper in your youth, but I am not surprised because I knew how tall you were. But Scotland, after being down, coming back after the break, they were trying to get back in this game, and with the impetus going forward and them being so eager to score, that shot that hit the Czech Republic player and fell nicely. Yeah, as you said, I don't know who was that. Hanley with the shot from distance?
Jack Hendry,
yeah. I don't know why would you try to hit it from so far out. Ricocheted off the opposition player, fell nicely to Schick. And if you see the angle that Schick had to deal with after he spotted David Marshall off his line, that was curled into the back of the net. That was most of these distance, 54 yards out from goal. It wasn't yards or meters. I'm not too sure but it was from the halfway mark. Most of them you could it's straight on, but this one was curled in, which makes it even so much more difficult. So you got to give it to Schick. It would be hard to beat this one for goal of the tournament. This could even win the Puskas Award for 2021. That's how good it was. And that further knocked the stuffing out of the Scotland team. even though they fought back. I could hear there was a Scottish commentator on ESPN that I was watching the coverage on, and I could hear the disappointment in his voice. I could hear him saying, "Yeah, Scotland could work themselves back into this. Remember what happened with the Ukraine game against the Netherlands? 2-0 is not such a big lead." And I'm like, "Oh wow," you know what I'm saying? And my mind was on you the whole time. I'm like, Doug is probably at work right now. And were you at work when the game was going on?
No, I watched it. I watched it on the TV.
Oh, okay. So you were home. So I was like, Doug might not be having a good time right about now. Since 96 and 98, Scotland were at major tournaments, and it's hard. It's hard watching your team go down this way in a game where you actually thought you could have won the game. There was a lot of other, events in the game, chances for Scotland. The Australian born Lyndon Dykes, he had a good one. He had two good chances between the 60th and the 70th minute, where I think Scotland had a really, really good period of play, building all the way up to the 75th minute, where around the 78th minute, when Scott McTominay had another chance that he blasted over. So I think the Scottish players were a little bit too impulsive when they had the ball in the box and when they had the opportunities. Do you agree with that or not?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was just a case of battening down the hatches and throwing in the kitchen sink. Like the one thing I was surprised about though today, I was surprised it didn't start Che Adams. I thought Che Adams might have got a start, but then I'm thinking if we manage to get something out of this game, then I think he was probably keeping Che Adams for England. But you saw that halftime goal made Clark think changes, and I think bringing on Adams I thought Adams actually played much better in that second half when he came on. But it's unfortunately, some of the subs baffled me today. Like obviously, I know that Callum McGregor came on, but he's not had the best of seasons at Celtic, and kept passing the ball sideways as well.
So the thing is, Doug. That's what I was talking about earlier. I know everyone's distracted by that brilliant free kick just scored by Messi. Yeah, Doug, Messi's at it again. Brilliant individual goal. But it goes back to the quality of the players in the squad. Here you are saying that a said player didn't have such a good season for Celtic, but ends up finding himself in the Scotland squad for the Euros, which is, baffling. If you don't have a great season, it means you miss out, and the player who had maybe a decent enough season gets the nod. But with the lack of quality in the talent pool over in Scotland, you end up with situations like this. You see what I mean? But as you said, when Che Adams came on, he did add some impetus to the attack. Scotland, and another player that was really good when he came on was Forrest. He had a brilliant chance that was blocked. So Scotland did get their opportunities, but I think being 2-0 up, the game was a bit, far gone for Scotland to even get back and maybe just get a goal back just in case things come down to goal difference. But at the end of the day, clean sheet for the Czech Republic and a very, very, very complete performance, I must say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I thought the two centre backs for them, Zaluch, I think is it Zaluchka and Kalash. I thought they were excellent. I thought they defended really, really well. But you have to say that Vaclik in the Czech goal was very, very good today as well.
Spot on, dog. So in terms of stats for this game, Scotland, they had their chances. 19 shots at goal, 4 on target, very wasteful, 58% of the ball, 469 passes with a 76% pass accuracy. For the Czechs, 10 shots, 7 on target. They were more clinical in the final third, as with the 2 goals they scored, 1 from the halfway mark and all. That was from the second third. 42% of the ball. As I said, they're very comfortable without the ball. They're not pretty in terms of passing the ball. They're not Spain. They're not Man City, when it comes to passing the ball around. But what they've done today was very, very effective, and they came out winners, 2-0 winners, big 3 points. I have to say, Doug, this will be an uphill battle for Scotland. They got to play England, who are one of the favorites by the bookies to win the tournament, and they have to play against Croatia, World Cup finalists. And getting a victory against, let's say, one of the weakest teams in the group, the Czech Republic, would have been a great start. At least a draw would have been a great start for Scotland, for them to at least, get out of this group. But it's not looking good right about now. How are you feeling?
I mean, never say never, but the last time we played England, we got a 2-2 draw. The only problem was that was at Hampden Park. This is Wembley, so it'll be a very, very tricky game against England. Croatia, that'll be a tricky game as well. That'll be a very tricky game as well. I know they're not what they once were, Croatia. People say they're an aging side. Yes, I know they're an aging side, but they've still got a very good midfield in Modric, Kovacic, Brozovic. You've got the attacking impotence of Perisic, Rebic, as well. But with England, you've got a really, really good squad there. So it's going to be an uphill battle, for sure. But if we manage to get a point, then we can go into the Croatia game, looking for all three. But it is going to be very tricky.
Well said, Doug. Well said. As for the Czech Republic, they would back themselves to get at least a point from the England game or the Croatian game to put themselves in contention to get out the group. And with their impressive showing against Scotland, they might fancy a win against either England or Croatia, teams that they have played against recently. So that would do it for the game between Scotland and the Czech Republic. We could go on and on and on and keep talking about these games, but we have a few more things to actually touch on. So just for some up to stats here, Patrick Schick's second goal, 49.7 yards, is the furthest distance from which a goal has been scored on record at European Championships since 1980. Ridiculous goal.
Oh,
and yeah, 9. Patrick Schick has been directly involved in 9 goals in his last 9 starts for the Czech Republic in all competitions. So this is simply amazing. And going back to what I was talking about with David Marshall, at 36, David Marshall is the second oldest player to appear for Scotland at a major tournament, Euros and World Cups, after 39-year-old Jim Leighton in the 1998 World Cup veterans. And maybe they need to start blooding some new youngsters and giving some younger players some opportunities. You see what I'm saying? Because I think the quality on showing was pretty subpar today by Scotland. How bad are you guys missing Kieran Tierney in your opinion?
Yeah, that was a big miss. That was a big miss for me. Because I think you look at the way we played today. I think Jack Hendry is a good defender, but he's not Kieran Tierney, and I think we're more solid down the left hand side anyway. With Kieran Tierney at left centre back, and then obviously Andy Robertson at left. I think it was left wing back today. But yeah, Kieran Tierney was a big miss today.
Well said. So big up to everybody in the chat. Adam the Great, Polomo Fatso, Zachary Leahy, Gervais O'Hara, Hale, BNG, Donovan McCrabb, everybody in here, Dildar, Julian, Thriller from Manila. And if I'm missing your name right now, I do apologize, but I appreciate everybody who's in the chat right about now. You guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the stream. Let's get the stream up to about 50 likes. Do appreciate that. So we're going to move on to the next one, Doug. But before we do, Croatia do play the Czech Republic on the 18th at Hampden Park. And the game between England and Scotland is also on the 18th at Wembley Stadium. So these are big games, and we'll be looking forward to having you on again to talk about the next Scotland game. So, Doug, if you want to stick around to talk about the rest games, you feel free to do so. Are you available?
Sure.
Yeah. So we have two more games to talk about. The game between Poland and Slovakia, and the other game between Spain and Sweden. So we are going to move into Group E. See what I'm saying? Doug, you have dinner ready or what?
Yeah, what did I have? What did I have earlier? I had a meat feast pizza, so that was very nice.
Meat feast pizza. What is that? Like a meat lovers? That's what they call meat lovers over here in America, where you have the sausage, the pepperoni, the bacon, and all that stuff.
It's a very nice pizza. It's a pizza with ham, sausage, and what's the other thing?
Okay, stop right there. You're making me hungry, man.
All right.
You're making me hungry, and I just ate. I just had some of those ribs that I barbecued a few days ago, and warm it up in the toaster oven, and they were very delicious. So we are gonna move on, Doug, to Group E. So you see, we got the Group E graphics in the background. We're ready to go. We're ready to talk about these games. We had another shocker today. Maybe it's a shocker for some, but it wasn't really a shocker for me. I did predict a draw between Slovakia and... Wait. I did predict a win for Poland. Pardon me. So Poland did let me down, but I did give them the benefit of the doubt since they have the best striker in the world in their team. So I was like, okay, you know what, man? I think they'll pull through. I think they'll win this one because Slovakia, on paper, doesn't really have a threat going forward. They do have names in the team that you know, names like a Schick and a what you call it, Skriniar, Dubravka. These names that we're familiar with, but going forward, they're not really threatening as Poland appeared to be. So this game was played in St. Petersburg at the Zenit St. Petersburg Stadium. It ended 2-1 in favor of Slovakia. 18th minute own goal by Szczesny. Doug, this was an own goal, but we can't... I know a lot of people probably saying that was a horrific goalkeeping display there by Szczesny, a former Arsenal, now Juventus keeper. But if you really go back and you watch what happened there, great run by Robert Mack. It deserved to be a Robert Mack goal. It was a great run. But if you go back and you watch what happened there, I think that one of the Polish defenders, I don't know if it was Glick, who stuck out a leg, and it hit his leg, and it went onto the post, came back off, and hit Szczesny and went in. So let's say if it didn't hit the boot of the defender, I think Szczesny would have saved that. I really think he would have saved that. Did you realize it took a nick off the defender's boot?
I actually, when I was watching this live, I actually thought it actually just hit the post and then went off Szczesny. But then I actually watched it again, and actually you can see there was a little touch off the defender. That's why it's an own goal, because the way that the shot actually went. Yes, he's going for that far corner. But what actually happens? He touches the ball onto Glick, goes off the post and then off Szczesny. And you know what? It's a very good goal. I thought Robert Mack had a very good game for Slovakia.
Yep, that shocked everybody though. But I knew of this guy Robert Mack for a while. He has been tormenting defenses for quite some time for the Slovakian team. So guys, if you don't know, Slovakia and Czech Republic were once one country called Czechoslovakia, who had players, notable player Panenka back in the 1970s, early 80s, and that's where the whole Panenka penalty came from, where the Czechoslovakia won the Euros, I think, back in 1976, and Panenka scored a penalty to win the Euros, which is ridiculous when you think about it. So I think Aguero maybe needs to go back and watch what Panenka did. Maybe Ademola Lookman needs to go back and check that out, because those Panenkas you saw from those players last season, they were absolutely horrible. Okay? So that's where the whole Panenka thing came from. But Paulo Sousa just put in charge of this Poland team, and Stefan Tarkovic, a new manager for Slovakia as well. He's a local guy. Paulo Sousa is Portuguese. So both managers new to the job here, and they had a lot to work out coming into this tournament. Doug, as we know, Poland are a team that a lot of people always rate Poland because of one thing. Robert Lewandowski. And they have all right to, but why don't the other players back this guy up? He had absolutely no service in this game.
Yeah, I actually said it in one of our previews. I think it was for the actual tournament itself. If you stop Robert Lewandowski, you stop Poland, and I think they need to find a way to actually. Well, obviously they did score one today, but they do actually need to find a way of actually winning games without actually relying heavily on Lewandowski. But I have to say, I thought Slovakia today actually deserved to win. And does it come as a shock to me that they won? Probably not, because Poland haven't actually gone out the group in the last, I think it's 2 or 3 Euros recently. So looks like they could be going for an early exit again, but who knows?
Yeah, this Poland team does not look good. It does not look good without the Robert Lewandowski name in it. You take the Lewandowski out the starting 11, and I don't know what's left. Seriously, I don't know what's left. This team, pretty mediocre without Robert Lewandowski. And the fact that they keep changing managers left, right, and center, it doesn't help the team in terms of progress. Whatever happened to Piontek? I know he didn't have the greatest of seasons with Hertha Berlin, but it's crazy how he just rose and fall within 2 years. Maybe he's injured. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But I know Arkadiusz Milik is also out with an injury, and they didn't bring Kamil Grosicki, who could have added some life to that team going forward because of his poor season with West Bromwich Albion. So maybe the team selection, it has a lot to questions to answer to. And this Polish performance was just tepid. It was poor. It was a bland performance. Robert Lewandowski hardly had a shot.
Yeah.
But I think it was a very gritty performance by Slovakia, who, like the Czech Republic, it's like they mirrored each other's performance. Very similar in the style of play. They don't really have the big names, but they do have a few standout stars. And it's just a great day, as someone said in the chat, for Czechoslovakia, the former Czechoslovakia. But these countries have since split up in the Velvet Divorce. But I'm pretty sure they're still friendly neighbors because of the close proximity of the two countries that still shares a border up to today. So we have a super chat to address. Thank you very much, Adam the Great. Appreciate that. He says, I predicted Slovakia to win 2-1. Everyone underestimated them. Definitely, I predicted Poland to win. So I underestimated Slovakia. I'm guilty of doing that. Everyone forgets that Poland plays better at major tournaments. Poland is like Croatia. One first-class player, few good ones. Others are meh. Spot on, Adam. Spot on. And another thing that Poland are guilty of doing is like in the build-up to the World Cups and stuff like that. They do get an easy group. They boss the group. And then they organize friendlies against these weaker oppositions so that they could destroy them and go up in the FIFA rankings and then get seeded and ends up in a nice group at the World Cup. They did that for the 2018 World Cup, but went on to lose their opening game against Senegal and still did not make it out the group. So Poland, they have a lot to answer, and this is something that could actually hamper Robert Lewandowski and his chances of winning this Ballon d'Or in 2021, because even though it's an individual award, him not doing well for Poland could hamper him winning the Ballon d'Or. I know a lot of people might not agree, but let's say N'Golo Kante, who is one of the other front runners, goes and just have a freaking masterclass performance all the way through the Euros, takes France to the final, win the final, and him being maybe player of the tournament or something, then you have no choice to give it to N'Golo Kante. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Robert Lewandowski and Poland, they need to step their game up. But they did look better after the first half break. They came out and Linetti got an equalizer, very, very fast movement of the ball, and they got it in the back of the net. And I was like, okay, so Poland looked like they mean business. But then as soon as they got some impetus in the game, Grzegorz Krychowiak, silly foul, and it just took away.
Yeah.
It just took away everything that Poland had worked for at like say the first 20 minutes of the second half. So all the good thing that Paulo Sousa and the boys did after the first half, it was undone by Krychowiak.
Yeah,
silly second yellow card.
And funnily enough, I actually said on Twitter to someone, I don't see this game finishing 11 men versus 11 men. I had a feeling there might be a red card. The amount of persistent fouling from both teams as well.
Yeah. If you want to check the stats, the foul stats, there were actually 28 fouls in this game. 28.
No surprise then.
Fouls. And 28 fouls. It's crazy. There was one red card, 2 yellows. It's coming up to the red. Not a lot of... I think the referees are not showing a lot of cards at this tournament. This is not like the Copa America that's going on at the left of me right now, where I see the referee dishing out a whole lot of cards to the Chilean players who are playing very, very rough football against Argentina here. But the referees are very lenient at the Euros. I think they're setting a precedent. They don't want to basically be too card hungry or anything. But it was a very, very cagey affair because Poland were trying to get back into the game. And with them going down to 10 men and still, trying to actually pick up all 3 points, it affected them. Bam, corner, Slovakia with the goal. Milan Skriniar, 2 goals to 1. Everything undone. Poland have to fight their way back in the game, and all their efforts were futile. There was a few changes made around in between the 69th after the goal and the 80th minute, and just to freshen things up. But one thing I noticed about this Slovakian performance and from the selection was these very, very experienced players like Kuchka, who's 34 years old, Marek Hamšík, who's been playing forever and who boasts one of the most iconic hairstyles ever in football. He's had that hairstyle for a very, very long time. So you got to give... I remember watching Slovakia for the first time at World Cup 2010. And that's the first thing I noticed. Marek Hamšík and that hairstyle, man. Always been one of my favorite players. And I think he's an all-time leading goal scorers for Napoli. Guys, also, like Adam says, smash the thumbs up button. We have over 100 people in the stream right now. Appreciate everybody coming in to check out my Euro 2020 daily roundups. I'll be doing this every day. And guys, smash the thumbs up button. It costs you not a single thing. I do appreciate you being here, but get into the habit of liking the video. When you like the video, it helps to tell YouTube, say, hey, people are actually thumbs up in this video. Let me share it out so that new people could come in and join the community and join the stream. And we've been having some new people in the community lately, so all the new subscribers, welcome to the family. Do appreciate that. So Poland did have a few chances towards the end of the game. Kamil Glik and Robert Lewandowski went up for a corner. It slid off one of their heads. And Bednarek, did you see that last chance there by it was, I don't think it was a last chance, but one of the last chance by Bednarek that he got, and it ended up on his left foot, and he kind of scuffed the shot. It went wide. So Poland, it was just a difficult game for them, man. You know what I mean? They were just snatching at everything Dubravka came up with a big save. Well, that wasn't such a big save. That was an easy save. So, as I said, they were snatching at everything in the box, and they were just not good enough on the day. Lacking quality, apart from Lewandowski. And with the quality that they have in Lewandowski, they just couldn't get him on the ball. So, any final thoughts on this one? Huge 3 points for Slovakia to follow up what the Czech Republic did earlier on.
Huge 3 points for Slovakia. I thought they played very, very well. Poland, it's probably going to be same old Poland, really. Looks like they could go out of the group stage. I don't see them. Well, could they pick up against Sweden or Spain? Hard to tell. But as I said, if you play like the way they did today, if you stop Robert Lewandowski, you're not gonna qualify. So I think Poland might head for the exit, but for Slovakia, they've got a very good chance of qualifying now.
Well said, Doug. Well said. So, in terms of up to stats, Poland's Szczesny is the first goalkeeper to score an own goal in the European Championships history. Wow. I didn't even know that. I thought it was the first own goal of the tournament. It wasn't it? Was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
First own goal was Demiral.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. But this is crazy. The first goalkeeper to score an own goal in European Championships history? God damn. I would not have guessed that. Definitely would have never guessed that. So Karol Linetti's equalizer against Slovakia was the second fastest goal after halftime in European Championships history as well, after Marcel Koras in 1984 for Romania versus Germany. And that was scored 21 seconds after kickoff. This goal by Linetti was 32 seconds after kickoff. So Krychowiak is the third player to be sent off for Poland at a major tournament, European Championships or World Cup, after Radoslaw Sobolewski against Germany at the 2006 World Cup, and Szczesny against Greece at Euro 2012. That's just to add some insight to this one. So there's also another one, Milan Skriniar's 41 games for Slovakia. Did he score? I think the last 4 games, he has scored 3 goals for Slovakia. So Milan Skriniar coming up with the quality product in defense and up in the final third. So you got to give it to Milan Skriniar. Doug, do you think if Tottenham somewhat got Milan Skriniar, who they were chasing last season, they would have done a lot better in terms of their performances, maybe winning a Carabao Cup, getting further into the Europa League, or even getting higher in the league table?
I suppose hindsight is a wonderful thing. I think you have to say if they did get Skriniar, then they would have probably been able to have not played Eric Diabolical at the back. So I think probably results would have probably improved. Yeah.
Well said. So do you see Skriniar leaving Inter? The fact that Inter Milan are cash strapped right now, and that's one of the reasons why manager Antonio Conte left, because he wants to build on the project that he started, a successful project. But the people in charge at Inter, they have to sell a few players in order to raise some funds. Do you see Skriniar with a quality performance like this basically catching the eye of some of the top clubs around Europe who are looking to bolster their centre back? Do you see him as a viable option? Do you think Tottenham could still go out for a player like Milan Skriniar?
Obviously, it looks like Tottenham are getting Fonseca, the ex-Roma manager. So he'll obviously know all about the Italian league. So potentially, I could see him getting Skriniar, but probably not. I think probably Skriniar would probably end up at somewhere like a PSG or something too. But then again, I think people forget about the fact he is only, I think, was it 30? Is he 30? 32, no, 33?
Oh, Skriniar is about 25, 26. Yeah,
Is he that young?
yeah. He's very young. He's very young.
Oh
He
my
is
goodness.
very young. Yeah. He is very young. So just to top this game off in terms of stats, Poland had 17 shots at target, 17 shots at goal, 3 on target, and most of those were not by Robert Lewandowski, or we know what would have happened. They had 58% on the ball, 532 passes with an 85% pass accuracy. So they did a lot of things right. The only thing they didn't do right was defend and put more balls in the back of the net. In terms of Slovakia, 11 shots at goal, only 2 on target. The 2 balls that went into the back of the net, 42% of the ball, 411 passes with an 81% pass accuracy. They committed 13 fouls compared to the 15 committed by Poland, who did get a man sent off. So the fact that Krychowiak got sent off, I think that what actually lost the game for Poland. It was very difficult coming up against the Slovakian team with 10 men. So we're going to move on to the next game. But before we do, Slovakia do play Sweden in the next game, and Poland faced Spain. That games for Slovakia will also be in St. Petersburg, a ground that they would grow to love. And Spain play against Poland at home once again. So, Doug, we're going to move on to the big one of the biggest talking points so far at the Euros. Spain 0, Sweden 0. Look, the fact that the game ended 0-0 is a travesty on its own. It's a shocking result, seeing that there were so many clear-cut chances that no team were able to put in the back of the net. Sweden had 2 clear-cut chances. One, you got to give the Spanish defense a little credit for stopping Isaac, but the Marcus Berg miss, that one is inexplicable. And you also have to mention the Morata miss. That one, I need an explanation for that one. And then Koke had a whole lot of chances. He missed it. But the hero of the day has to be Robin Olsen, the Swedish goalkeeper. Doug, what are your thoughts while I gather mine?
Well, it's 96 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back. I thought it was a very Spainful performance from Spain.
Spainful. Very Spainful.
Spainful.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Morata, I think I read a stat that apparently he's gone without a goal in his last 416 minutes for Spain. But I mean, what I've always said something about Spain. When they won Euro 2008 and then the World Cup in 2010, they had a world-class forward line of David Villa, David Silva, Fernando Torres. They don't have that anymore. They're relying on
just to add, they also won Euro 2012.
Euro 2012, yeah.
So
it's those 3 tournaments. They had Villa, Torres, Silva, and those kind of players. Unfortunately, they don't have that right now. And they've got a lot of youth coming through. Danny Olmo had a good game, I thought. I thought Danny Olmo had a good game.
Also, Doug, to mention that they had a midfield of Xavi, Iniesta, Alonso, Busquets. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, they had guys like Puyol. So, this is a shadow of the successful Spanish team between 2008 and 2012. It's a shadow. And that's what I've been talking about the entire time. It's a shock. It's a shocker.
It is, but from what I remember, from what I actually remember of it, because I was trying very, very hard not to fall asleep, because in my opinion, Sweden are the Burnley of international football. Now, I'm sorry, I may have upset a few Sweden fans in there, but I'm sorry. The amount of defensive work that Sweden play, it's not very good football. It's very, very defensive. It's just awful. But to be their credit, I thought Isak played very, very well for them. Apparently Lindelof got man of the match for this game. How? I'll
Wow.
never know because
Yeah, I don't know.
he lost his man so many times tonight. Um, so it's a game to forget. Probably one of the worst games I've watched so far. But yeah, things can only get better. I'd probably expect Spain to get out of this group still. Sweden, who knows? Who knows?
I do expect Spain to get out the group, but I don't expect them to get out the group on top. And this is the only prediction I got right. I predicted a draw, a 1-1 draw, but we got something worse. We got a stalemate. The first 0-0 game of the tournament. It wasn't as dull as you're saying, Doug, though. I don't think it was as dull as you're saying, to be honest. It wasn't the most entertaining game, but there were a lot of chances. If you're watching as a neutral and you can't really figure out why Morata is missing so many, easy chances, or why Marcus Berg, who I've been talking about for years upon years, I've been talking about this guy missing chances for fun, for clubs, for his club teams, he's deadly. For whenever he's a journeyman, he plays for a lot of different clubs. He's deadly. But when it comes to Sweden, oh my God, this guy misses the easiest sitters, and
Yeah.
that was a sitter. But just to touch on a few notes, we got to note that both squads have been affected by COVID-19, especially the Spanish squad, who had to be training separately. And some of these guys, well, I think the squad just got vaccinated on Friday, and I think it's because there's a law that only people above 40 are getting the vaccine right about now. Hence the reason why the footballers haven't been vaccinated. But that's kind of baffling to me, because you would think that these guys are moving around the most. Give them the vaccine. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And for them to be enforced into taking the vaccines right now, just before a tournament, it doesn't make sense, because I've taken the vaccines, and that thing has your arm swollen. Your arm could hardly move. Maybe it would help by not getting for the guys not to get handballs or anything, but you didn't have a lot of situations like that on the day. But some of the symptoms of this vaccine, it gives you headache. Sometimes you don't really feel that well. And Spain didn't look like they were lagging from taking vaccines. They looked good. They started the game out very, very, very well. And I was quite surprising that they couldn't put any of those chances in the back of the net. And I have everything written down here. So Spain, don't think any of you guys are going to get off. I have things written down right here. But Doug, what do you make of Luis Enrique not starting Thiago, but starting a player like Pedri in the middle alongside Koke and Rodri, who was left out of the Champions League final by Pep Guardiola?
I think we have to say that this is a very, very youthful Spain side. I like the fact that he's managed to bring in Laporte for Spain. I don't think Laporte was going to ever get into that France side. Let's be honest.
Well, just to interject on that, Doug, he was getting into the France side, but I think a lot of times he did travel, but he didn't get the start. And then when he was about to get the start, I think that was in 2019, around the September international break. That's when he got injured. I could remember that. I was like, oh, finally Deschamps picked Laporte, and then he got injured, and that was it for him. And Laporte, I think he did the right thing. I think the fact that France were looking so strong, even though I think he could have gotten into the team ahead of guys like Longley, but he didn't want to chance. He didn't want to take it, chance it anymore, because he's not getting younger, and he slotted into that Spanish defense very seamlessly alongside Pau Torres. Both of them are left-footed, but I think Laporte had a solid game. Didn't do much wrong. Defensively, Spain didn't do much wrong, despite them letting in Isaac a few times. They didn't do too bad defensively. But if you look at the Spanish team here, Doug, we're talking a bit about the lineup and the assembly here. Look at that. Marcos Llorente is not a natural right back. He's a makeshift right back. Laporte just came into the team. Pau Torres has been a fixture for a few months, maybe close to a year. But Jordi Alba, who's been out of favor with Luis Enrique, is given the captaincy. And then you have Pedri, an 18-year-old, becoming the youngest ever player to represent Spain at a major tournament. And you have Rodri and Koke. Koke did play very well. But up top, when you look at the top line, Ferran Torres, Dani Olmo, these guys have been playing well for Spain. But they're not producing the goods when it matters, especially Morata. Seriously.
Yeah.
This Spain team, when you look at the Spain team, they still have the identity. They still are going to play attractive tiki-taka football, but they lack execution in the final third. They're going to pass you. They're going to outpass you throughout the game. They're going to, wear you down, but where's the goods? And we know that the Swedish team does not mind the grind. They do not mind the grind at all. That's what they do. Yeah. They would grind it out for 120 minutes and then beat you on penalties. Or, as we almost saw, they would be on the back foot for the majority of the game, and then bam, they could have scored. So I think that's Spain's Achilles heel, the imbalance of the squad being affected by COVID-19 and everything. And, they do have a good little roster, but still it's very experimental. We saw guys coming off the bench, Moreno, Oyarzabal, Fabian Ruiz, and they look good. So could it be like, and Thiago as well came off the bench. So could it be like a selection conundrum here for Luis Enrique, where he does not know his best 11 for this Spain team?
Quite possible. Yeah, quite possibly. Obviously, I think the reason we've all got 26-man squads is to look at the squads, and I think it's because of them obviously being still in a pandemic that you're allowed to make 5 substitutes, and I think he's getting to know his squad. But I mean, I was amazed Gerard Moreno didn't start this game.
Well, from what I heard, Moreno was not 100%. That's the reason why he didn't start the game. But the fact that he came off the bench, I believe we're going to see Gerard Moreno start in the next match. So before we do move on, I do have a super chat here to address. Thank you very much, Adam the Great, for dropping the super chats today. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, man. He says, Sweden played like Turkey today, except they didn't get battered like British people. Oh, what do you mean? 3 shots and they were wasted. Oh, you get that? Oh, because I was like, what? That was it. Listen, that's a good one. Doug, do you get wasted after 3 shots?
I think if you take a tequila or a Zambuca 3 shots, then yes, you definitely are.
Doug, I actually think if you go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines with me, and you take just a sniff of the St. Vincent strong rum, it's called Sunset, it might just knock you out then. It's very strong. They use the Sunset to light fire. Like if you're cooking some food on firewood, you just throw a little Sunset, you throw the match, and it just blaze up. In other news, Chile just received a penalty. Arturo Vidal fouled in the box, and they have a chance to go 1-1 with Argentina after Messi scored a brilliant free kick. So Arturo Vidal will take that penalty. The Internazionale Milan, the mercenary. He just goes to play for a lot of top clubs, and he has been very, very successful. Emi Martinez to defend this penalty. Number 8, Arturo Vidal, with one of the most iconic hairstyles in football as well, steps up. And Vidal, he is saved, but Vidal puts it into the back of the net. It might be some kind of encroachment here, but we don't know. And Chile has seemingly equalized, but VAR will review that one as well. So some controversy in that game. I know a lot of you guys are watching this game right about now. But, you know, we covered the Euros. But this one, Arturo Vidal got his penalty saved by Emi Martinez. But they have to take a look at that one again. But to go back to the Spanish performance versus Sweden here. Oh, okay. All right. Just interrupted. Just wait. Let me see what happened here with this thing. I think Eduardo Vargas actually. They're calling for handball. Argentinians are calling for handball. I guess this is the only coverage of the Copa America we're gonna get. I don't think that was a handball. I think that was a clean header by the man Eduardo Vargas. Eduardo Vargas. Some of you guys could remember Eduardo Vargas for destroying Mexico at the Copa America Centenario, where that Chile actually went on to win. So they're reviewing it, and I'll get you news on that pretty soon. But to go back to the Spain-Sweden game, 0-0, Dani Olmo, that was a brilliant header. You remember that header from Dani Olmo that was brilliantly saved by Robin Olsen. If it wasn't for Olsen, yeah, Spain would have won the game about 4-0. But Robin Olsen, he was very, very good on the day. And the Roma goalkeeper who was on loan at Everton, he was world class on the day. I'm not saying he's a world class goalkeeper, but somehow he just, whenever he plays for Sweden, I think he's better than he is at the club level. So for the first 20 minutes, Spain was bossing the game. Koke had a shot, it went wide. We had the Spanish goalkeeper didn't really have much to do at that moment. Koke had another shot, he blasted over. And then in the 38th minute, the biggest talking point of the match, maybe not bigger than the Marcus Berg talking point, but that Morata miss. Doug, just give me your thoughts on Morata. Who's worse? Is it Timo Werner or Morata or Raheem Sterling? You got to throw all of them in there. These guys are terrible in front of. I don't listen. How could you miss and not even hit the target, man? Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, Morata. To be fair, like he came to Chelsea and like everyone was bigging him up, and the fact that he went back to Juventus after I think a season and a half, it just kind of proved that he was a big flop at Chelsea. But as you say, he is known for missing big chances, and yet again, like all he has to do is place it to one side of the keeper, and he places it wide. This is the thing. I think the Spanish side are going to struggle to score goals of this competition if they've still got Morata up front. So I reckon he'll probably be put out of the firing line. I think we might see Gerard Moreno on the game against Poland.
Yeah, he got to get dropped. He definitely got to get dropped. He actually went back to Atletico Madrid before he went back to Juventus. So he's been bouncing around the place from Real Madrid to Juventus. He did well at Juventus. Real said, hey, give me back my striker. Went back to Real Madrid, flopped. Then after I think he went from Real Madrid to Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And from Chelsea back to Atleti, something like that. I'm confused at the moment. Morata is just a snake oil salesman, and he just keeps missing these chances time and time again. And you know, the Spanish Twitter should be on his ass right now, not in a negative way, but they should definitely be criticizing him because he was horrible in the game. And I knew something like the Alexander Isak chance would have happened. And Spain was so lucky because Isak, his first shot was saved by blocked by Laporte. And then his second shot was going wide. And then Marcus Llorente kind of diverted it back into the goal. And then it hit the post and then hit the keeper. And then I think it did hit the keeper and then it was safe. So they were very lucky not to concede there in about the 41st minute. And then Dani Olmo had another brilliant shot from distance saved by Olsen. So that was the talking point of the first half. The Morata miss, the Isak chance, and Olsen saving time and time again, and a few shots missed by Koke. So Spain could have been about 2-0 up at halftime, but the game was 0-0. And we know the Swedish team loves to grind. And they came out in the second half, and I think around 45.1, they were already wasting time. As soon as the second half kicked off, the Swedish players were already wasting time. Cramps, faking injuries, the goalkeeper hugging the ball. And I know I'm exaggerating, but they were wasting time very, very, very early in the second half there. So we also had another Morata chance. It was not as clear-cut as the first one, but he did put that one wide again. And I'm like, at this point, Morata does not deserve any more chances in that game. He did eventually get taken off, but the Marcus Berg chance came. Doug, how does Marcus Berg not score that? After what Alexander Isak did, who does play in Spain for Sociedad, so he knows these players very well. He managed to wiggle himself through the defense, got the pass off, onside and everything, and Marcus Berg misses from point blank range. No goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is way up ahead of him on the other side, and he puts it wide. I don't understand this.
If that's Henrik Larsson, if that's Zlatan Ibrahimovic, that's in the back of the net. Simple.
That's a very, very good thing you said there, because if Ibrahimovic was at this tournament, Spain would have been paying for their ineptness in front of goal today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know, in the past, Henrik Larsson was a very, very good Swedish striker, and he would have probably put that away as well. I am a little bit surprised we didn't see Jordan Larsson tonight. I thought he might have came off the bench. So maybe Marcus Berg will be dropped next game, and we might see Jordan Larsson. There's too many Larsons in the side. There's Sebastian Larsson.
I can't keep track of these guys in this team, man. Seriously. But Jan Andersen is a creature of habit. He eats a hot dog before every single game. That's like a habitual thing he does. So I'll be surprised if he changes Marcus Berg up top, because it could also be very superstitious that he sticks with Marcus Berg. So you play Spain, you get a 0-0 result. Marcus Berg started the game. Why change unless there's an injury? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because Marcus Berg might go up against one of the other teams from this group, and he might score a hat trick. That is Marcus Berg for you. And I kid you not. That is just how this guy operates. He's gonna have a stinker in one game, and in another game, he's scoring worldies and he's tapping them in for fun. That's why he's in the team, because he is tried and tested, and he has produced results. But it's just on the day he should have. Spain deserved to get punished for this for missing so many chances here. And I think Sweden got off the hook, and it's like a victory for Sweden here, because they would fancy getting something off most Slovakia, and they would fancy getting something off Poland as well. A very mediocre looking Poland. And we know that teams could get out of their group with 3 points, and we could see Sweden drawing 3 games and squeezing out. You never know. But I see them picking up at least 1 win here and going on to... I predicted them to top the group. Spain did get a few more chances at the back end of the game. Moreno, point-blank header. I don't know how that didn't go in, but Robin Olsen was equal to the task again. And then Sarabia, he had a shot that came to him a bit too fast. Easy save for Olsen. 0-0. Disappointing result for the Spanish team, and it was a big performance. I think the Swedish players may not have celebrated on the field, but when they went back to their dressing rooms, they were probably having a party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because this is exactly. This is the type of performance that they live on. 17 shots for Spain, 5 on target, 86% of the ball. And Doug, you were sharing this stat with me. 917 passes, and I think it's more passes than about 4 different teams combined. Turkey and a few other teams who don't really pass the ball that well. North Macedonia and a few other teams combined. Sweden only had 161 passes in the game. This is unbelievable. I don't think any team has been outpassed this badly before. 800 plus more passes than Sweden. 90% pass accuracy. Sweden only had a 55% pass. I don't know how Sweden got a point here. But it goes back to football. This is football, and the best team doesn't always win on the day. Sometimes it's the ugly anti-football, it's the gritty football that ends up getting 3 points or even 1. And that's what we saw from the Swedish team today under Jan Andersson, and this has been their identity time and time again. This is the team that prevented Italy from making it to the World Cup. So I don't think a lot of people would be surprised there. Seriously. So big up to everybody in the chat. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button, guys. You guys need to smash the thumbs up button. We haven't even got to 50 thumbs up, and we've had over 100 people in here for most of the time. You know what that's telling us? You guys are telling us that we're not doing a good job. You see what I'm saying? Doug, that's what they're telling us. They're saying, hey, man, you guys have been talking for an hour, and you guys have not been hitting the spot. I think we've been hitting the spot. I really think we've been hitting the spot. Also, Dildar is mentioning a very interesting player, Dejan Kulusevski. I'm surprised that we didn't see him. Maybe he's one of the casualties from the whole COVID-19 situation that's going on in both squads. Let me just double check and see if Kulusevski was on the bench here for Sweden. Yeah, Doug, I think Kulusevski may be out with COVID-19 or down with an injury, because we didn't mention him. I almost forgot him. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Says here on the 8th of June, Kulusevski tested positive for COVID-19 amid its pandemic in Sweden and was rolled out of Sweden's opening UEFA Euro 2020 match against Spain.
Yeah. So he's a big miss, and I think if he was in this team, Sweden may have ended up on the winning end. So, Doug, it has been a pleasure. We're going to finish off, but before we do, we are going to talk about the group of death. Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about the group of death? We got 2 games coming up tomorrow in the group of death, and I'm ready. Back in St. Vincent, we have this term where we says, yeah, I'm ready like Freddy to talk about this group. Hungary versus Portugal, France versus Germany. These are big games. Let me write these down, because I like to write down my predictions so that I have reference for when we come back, for when I come back tomorrow to do this. And we have Hungary versus Portugal. So I'm gonna actually bring up the Hungary, the group F, so that we could touch on that. And Doug, I want to just hear your thoughts, if you have any predictions to share with the boys on the game between Hungary and Portugal. And Hungary would be the home team here for this game, and it will be at the Ferenc Puskás Stadium. This is going to be interesting. This is really going to be interesting. Yeah.
Also, full capacity of this game as well.
For real. They've been that's how they've been doing it over in Hungary. They've been keeping COVID on the leash. Wow. Doug, how are you feeling about Hungary's chances here? They did get out their group at Euro 16, as we all could remember. Wait, didn't they top the group? I think they.
Good question.
I think they topped their group at Euro 16. Let me just pull up Euro 16. Yeah, they topped Group F. They were in Group F at Euro 16. They topped their group with Iceland, Austria, and Portugal. 2 draws and a win. They drew to Portugal. There you go, then. Yeah, they drew to Portugal. And as I keep mentioning, Portugal got out of their group with only 3 points, Doug. They drew all 3 group games and went on to win the tournament. So don't discount the importance of draws at these big tournaments. Draws are heavy. They carry a lot of weight simply because there's 24 teams and only 8 teams get eliminated after the first round. So draws are very important. Draws help your goal difference because your goal difference doesn't really go up nor does it go down when you draw. So we got to watch this. I think being that this is the group of death, Doug, something weird is going to happen in this group. Do you think so?
Yeah.
I know you might. I didn't predict anything weird. I predicted France to top the group, Portugal second, Germany third, Hungary last. But I have a sneaky feeling one of these big teams are going to get knocked out in the first round. Simply because they're going to lose twice. One of these big teams are going to lose twice against either France or Germany or Portugal or France losing it. Something is going to happen. If anybody in the chat agrees with me, let me know. But I think something's bound to. Hungary, look, I know I didn't predict Hungary to do well in this group in terms of getting out. But I have a feeling Hungary might pick up one or 2 points off 2 of these teams in this group. Is it going to be Portugal tomorrow?
I see. This is the thing. I know Portugal won Euro 2016, but I think this Portugal side is a lot better than that other side. Shame that João Cancelo is going to miss the tournament. So obviously he tested positive. So hopefully speedy recovery to João Cancelo. Apparently Diogo Dalot has been drafted into the squad as well. Hungary are missing their best player without a shadow of a doubt in Szoboszlai from RB Leipzig. He is injured.
What about Zuzak? Did Zuzak retire? Because I was surprised Zuzak isn't in the team, man.
Yeah, I was surprised unless he's injured.
He might be just out of favor because you could never keep track of where this guy is playing his football, man. But I could remember at the last Euros he was one of the heroes for Hungary for them topping the group, and I think they did get knocked out in the round of 16. But Zuzak, I think, was their captain at the time. Very iconic figure. But Szoboszlai, definitely a big miss. It was quite unfortunate for him after him moving to RB Leipzig and not really featuring. You know, when I realized Szoboszlai was injured is when he didn't feature against Liverpool. I was like, whoa, where, I did predict Leipzig to beat Liverpool, and it's because of the talent that Leipzig have. And then all these guys just never showed up in the game. And then, they do have a heavy Hungarian contingent in Willy Orban, Szoboszlai, and the goalkeeper, of course, the former Liverpool man. What's Gulaski? Peter Gulaski.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hungary could put up a fight. One thing I said in my preview video they got going for them is the hunger. They do have the hunger going for them. But this Portuguese team is very, very good. And I think the only Achilles heel for Fernando Santos and his team would be a selection conundrum. I didn't even realize João Cancelo was out with COVID, and it's crazy. He's a Man City player, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see any news on that. So it's because maybe I'm not looking too deep into the news for the past couple of days. I have my head deep up into the Euros butt cheeks, for the better lack of an analogy. The Euros are female, by the way. Let's just put that out there. The Euro tournament is a girl. Let's just put it out there. But Doug, look. We've been talking about this. What's your prediction for this game between Hungary and Portugal?
I think Portugal will probably, well, they are the favourites for this game. But capacity crowd, it could sway things in the direction. But I just think this Portugal side, look, if you stop Ronaldo, stop Bruno, they've still got Bernardo Silva, they've still got João Moutinho, Ruben Neves, Diogo Jota. It's a cracking, too talented. So I'm going 3-1 Portugal. I think Portugal will win 3-1. I think Hungary will score, but I think Portugal will have too much for them. So I'm going 3-1.
All right, I got some stats for you guys. You guys know I got the stats. The boy is Dominic Statman Dominic, up to Dominic. Look, the last two games between these two teams was in World Cup qualifiers for the 2018 World Cup. Portugal beat Hungary in both games, home and away. At Euro 16, they played to a thrilling 3-3 draw. Before that, in the previous 4 games, Portugal won every game, dating all the way back to 1998. The last time Hungary picked up a result, another draw, back in 1983, and another draw back in 1966. My dad wasn't even born in 1966. He was born in 56. He was born in 68. So Marco Rossi, the head coach of this team, has a difficult task in his hands to keep this very, very talented, very stacked up Portuguese team under Fernando Santos quiet. Fernando Santos is unbeaten against Hungary. Portugal are unbeaten against Hungary in 13 games, 9 wins and 4 draws. So the ball is in Portugal's court. It's there to lose. They have the most talented, one of the most talented, if not the most talented team at the Euros, with guys like Bruno Fernandes and all the names that Doug read off earlier, where, the most valuable player in this Hungarian team is Willy Orban. So it would be very difficult. But as we saw at the tournament so far, Doug, the underdogs have been doing well. You see Slovakia, you see the Czech Republic picking up results. You saw Finland against, Denmark, even though it was an unfortunate event. You saw them picking up points. You saw Wales getting a point there. So, as I say, Portugal, should not take Hungary lightly. They shouldn't take them. They shouldn't go in and be overconfident and think they're gonna, destroy this team. But when you have Cristiano Ronaldo in your team and Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva, and you have Pedro Gonçalves, and you have what's that one name from Porto, man? Sergio Oliveira, who may come off the bench. And then you have Pepe. Listen, it's no way Hungary are going to win this game. They're not going to win this game. Could they draw the game? Yes, they could frustrate and draw the game, because we see a very, very, let's say, a lackluster performing Serbia picked up a result against this Portuguese team recently. But I'm going to back Portugal to win the game, and I'm going to go for a convincing 3-0 victory. I'm going to go for 3-0. On Hungarian soil. 3-0. They don't concede. I think it would be Anthony Lopez in goal as well. Not sure, but Lopez has been the number one. But this Portuguese team is too damn talented to lose to Hungary. So big up to everybody. And how did I forget? PFA Player of the Season.
Ruben Diaz, yeah.
Ruben Diaz. Oh my God. You see, the team is so stacked up that you tend to forget players. But what I'm going to do right now, Doug, I'm just going to take a quick peek at this roster, and I'm going to let the people know who's actually in this team. Andre Silva, great season with Eintracht Frankfurt. Joao Felix, one of the only 100 million euro players ever. Gonçalo Guedes, Diogo Jota, Pedro Gonçalves, who helped Sporting win the Portuguese league for the first time in a long, long time. Bernardo Silva, he's gold. Bruno Fernandes, or Penandes, a lot of people like to call him. Rafa Silva, Joao Moutinho, Sergio Oliveira, Renato Sanchez, reborn at Lille, William Carvalho, the big Betis man in the midfield, João Palhinha with Sporting, Winners, Danilo Pereira with PSG. Ruben Neves, Nelson Semedo. Maybe Semedo is, I think they should have left Semedo home. Nuno Mendes, Rafa Guerrero. You have Pepe, Jose Font, winner with Lille. Ruben Diaz, Rui Patricio. This team is damn stacked up. God damn it. Jeez, man. This is illegal. This is illegal. If Portugal do not get to the last four, I'll be surprised. My prediction in my Euro predictor app, I think I predicted France and Portugal to reach the final again. These teams are too damn good. But who knows? They might disappoint. But I'm gonna still go for a 3-0 win. Doug, we're gonna move into the next one. This one is a listen. I need to click the graphic for this one. I know I didn't click this thing for that one. Let me just click it so the people could just get a little visual there. But let's go back here. This is not this is the low profile. This is the low profile of the Group F, the high profile Group F. France versus Germany. Doug, let me know your thoughts on this one.
Huge game. Germany will want to do well for Joachim Löw in his last Euros before obviously Hansi Flick takes over. And then obviously, France, they'll be wanting to redeem themselves after obviously losing the 2016 final. But I look at the France squad and I look at the Portugal squad and I look at the Germany squad, and their squads are just packed with talent. Like you forgot one squad. I think you forgot two more stacked up squads. Two more? Yeah, you forgot Belgium. You forgot England. These squads are stacked. These squads are stacked up. And like you think of some of the names that are not actually in this France squad as well. Like, it's a very, very good squad. Germany's got a very, very good squad as well. It's in Munich, so home advantage for Germany. And they'll obviously want to do well for, Joachim Löw. But I just look at this France squad and I'm just like, it's just a very, very good team. So this is all the makings of a cracker for me. Does it matter that Germany are at home against France, though? Do you think it matters? Well, I think only was it Russia lost at home, and who else lost at home? Scotland lost at home as well. So yeah, probably home advantage. Yeah, doesn't matter. I don't think it matters one bit. This German team has not been good for a while. And going back to the all-time record, 31 matches, 14 wins for France, 10 wins for Germany, 7 draws. You go back to the last 10 games between these two teams, dating all the way back to 2003. Germany has only beaten France twice, dog. And you have to go back to 2013 and 2014 in the World Cup quarterfinal where Germany beat France. And Germany won that World Cup. They had to get past France to win that World Cup. They haven't beaten France since. There's been 5 games, 2 draws, and 3 wins for France. So we know where this one is looking like. And to add, France did get the better Germany at Euro 16 in the semis. They did lose the final, but still they got past Germany to make it to the final. And I think France hold the aces here. Didier Deschamps hold the aces over Joachim Löw, and as you said, he's going into his final tournament. He has not had a good record against France. 8 games, 4 L's, 2 draws, and only 2 wins. And I think it's very, very unlikely that he's going to pick up a win here against this French team, unless we see France play like Spain did today. Yeah, that's the fear for France, is if they ever like overplay, then they might. But I just look at this France squad, and you look at some of the names like Paul Pogba, Griezmann, Giroud, Mbappe, Benzema. It's stacked with talent, and obviously N'Golo Kante as well. So it's a very, very tricky game to predict for me.
It's easy for me to predict. I'm predicting France to win this game 2-1. I think they will concede. They may concede late, but I think they'll score 2 and boss the majority of the game. The German team still boasts very, very good talent in the likes of Kimmich, Müller, Callback. You have Hummels, you got Timo Werner and Kai Havertz and Antonio Rudiger. Fresh. The confidence overflowing after that Champions League win. The words can't even come out of my mouth right now because I'm still pissed off at Pep Guardiola for that. Seriously, I am, man.
Yeah.
Chelsea had a mediocre season, man, and they went on to win the damn Champions League. You know, Pep Guardiola, I will never forgive you for that one. I don't care what nobody want to say. I'm not forgiving you for that one unless you win me a freaking Champions League. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Let's get the stream up to 75 likes. You see the graphic down at the bottom. I'm pretty sure there are about 50 of y'all in here who have not smashed the thumbs up button. Shame on y'all. Let's get the stream to 100,000 trillion likes, okay? Smash it right now. You know what I'm saying? Look, Doug, you know we just here to have some fun, but in all seriousness though, who are you predicting to win this game?
I'm going for a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Oh, Doug, you're playing it safe, dog. You're playing it safe. You're playing it safe. You're playing it safe. So, listen, you're playing it safe. I'm not going to play it safe. 2-1 to France on German soil. I'm calling it right now. I must get one of my predictions right. Hungary to lose 3-0 to Portugal at home, and Germany to lose 2-1 at home to France. I'm going to call it. France, they're too good. When Pogba, if fit, plays for this French national team, it's like the patriotism comes out and he is like a god on the field. You see what I'm saying? He's an Avenger. Yeah. Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann. You have Karim Benzema back in the team. He came under a little injury doubt. But you have Olivier Giroud. N'Golo Kante. Did I mention Kante? Even if I mention Kante more than one time, it's worth it because he is more than one player. He is. Because please tell me why he's everywhere at every given time. Explain that. Please, somebody explain to me why N'Golo Kante is everywhere at every time. The man is omnipotent. He's omnipresence. You see what I'm saying? So this guy is so freaking annoying, man. Doug, I don't know if you guys get those scam likely calls over in Scotland. Scam likely.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah.
That's fucking N'Golo Kante calling you. Pardon my language. Listen, man. N'Golo Kante. Oh man, this guy. Without N'Golo Kante, I don't think Chelsea would have won the Champions League. Oh, I don't think they would have gotten to the damn final of the FA Cup either. I don't think they would have came in fourth. Seriously. That guy is the reason for everything. Everything Leicester City. Everything Chelsea for that title. Everything Chelsea for that Champions League. Everything France for that World Cup title. Listen, N'Golo Kante is my Ballon d'Or winner. 2021. I'm going to call it right now. N'Golo Kante. From rags to riches. Calling it right now. See what I'm saying? Zachary, your car's extended warranty is about to run out. Tell me about it, man. I don't understand those calls, you know. I really don't understand those calls, man. The scam likely calls and your extended warranty. I'm like, I do not have warranty on my car. Why would it even run out? You see what I'm saying? But as I said, that's N'Golo Kante. Running running everywhere on the field. So, are you going for a scoreless draw? What did you say?
1-1.
Adam the Great. Without Kante, Chelsea would have flopped hard. Respect his name. And Doug goes for a 1-1 draw. Yo, Doug, it has been a pleasure having you on today. I sorry about Scotland's loss. Sorry about me kind of laughing out loud early on in the stream, but I don't know why I did that, but I do apologize. I have to be a man and I apologize in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? That was wrong, and I hope Scotland pick up some points in the tournament, even though it's gonna be very very difficult, man. But what I have to tell you, as a St. Vincent and the Grenadines born and a St. Vincent and the Grenadines fan, we just got smashed 10-0 by Guatemala. I never expected anything from the team.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, so I think you should maybe lower your expectations. Lower your expectations of the team. Just watch the game to have fun, to just enjoy Scotland at the Euros again, at a major tournament again. You see, because if you depend on these guys to you know what I mean, to bring you joy and entertainment, they will just keep disappointing you, just like Pep Guardiola did for me this season.
Yeah.
Seriously. Even though we won the Premier League and everything, you know what I mean? But yeah. So, Doug, it's been a fun one. 1 hour, 35 minutes. This is just about the sweet spot for these live streams. I could go on and on and on, but it has been a long day for me. I'm about to take a chill pill and just relax a bit. Got to go hang out with the wife, you know what I'm saying? And the son Liam upstairs, man, you know what I mean? I haven't even showered since I came home from work and everything. Maybe too much info for you guys. But still, just gotta let you guys know what's going on. Doug, also, how you feel about my fresh Swedish kit, man? Come on, bro. You didn't even tell me about
I like that. I like that.
I mean? Yeah, man. I got this from my folks over at what's it called again, man? Soccer Mall Plus. .co, the Chinese website. I know it's Chinese. and all, and people like to say, oh, it's fake. This feels real. This is as real as it gets, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of things are made in China, and this looks good. You can't even tell the difference. But yeah, I had this for a while, and I figured I'll just put it on. And as I said, I'll be changing up the wardrobe for every single video, keeping things fresh. I'll continue the hard work for Euro 2020, and we'll be coming back daily with the content. You know what I mean? Doug, keep up the good work over on the channel. Guys, make sure you head on over to the Dugout Football channel. You know of Doug, so head on over to the channel. Doug, let me see if I find a link to your channel to drop it in the stream right about now. And so the folks could head on over to your channel and they could get some very level-headed, very level-headed analysis of the Premier League and so on and so forth. Let me find your thing right about now. You know what I'm saying? But Doug, any closing thoughts before you go?
Well, let's hope that Scotland can get something from England. Not going to be easy, of course, but no, thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. The group of death.
Doug, it was a pleasure having you on. Julian dropped your link in the chat. Very good, Julian. Thank you very much. And thanks again, Adam, for supporting the stream heavily today. He's asking another 7-1 to Germany, or maybe France. Conte to score 7 goals. I don't think so. But we are going to have a good game tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be doing a watch-along. But I'll be back to do the wrap-up just after the game. So look forward to that one. I'm going to be having some fun making the thumbnail to this one. Guys, I have improved the thumbnail for my Euro 2020 coverage, if you haven't noticed. Because I sometimes I look at things and I just want to keep improving, keep making it better. And I up the thumbnail game. Doug, what do you think about this one? Let me know. What do you think about this? Let me show you. Where is that? Give me 1 second. Let me see. It's in the background. I actually gotta upload it a different way, and I'll show you the fresh thumbnail. Give me 1 second. So that's what I've been working on. There's a lot of aspects to this whole YouTube thing, and design is one of them. So let me just share that thumbnail right there. Doug, what do you think about this?
Very good.
Guys,
Yeah,
guys in the chat, what do you think about this? I worked on this. I revised the thumbnail, and this is what I came up with. And I'm doing it for you guys, man. I'm doing it for you guys. Just presentation on a whole nother level, and just keep improving things. You see what I'm saying? And I just the first one looked a bit clunky, so I figured I'll just make it a little bit more streamlined, make it more themed to the tournament and everything, with the circular flags and all of that. You know what I mean? So it's I enjoy this aspect of doing YouTube as well. So Doug, it's been real. Thanks again. Let me let you go. It's
Pleasure.
been an hour. Yeah, it's been an hour 40 minutes. You gotta go to work. You got work tomorrow or no?
Yeah, I've got work tomorrow.
Yeah, so I hope you have a nice day at work tomorrow, a nice easy day. And I hope you enjoy the Euro matches that's coming up tomorrow in Group F, because guess what? I'll be enjoying the hell out of those games as well. So from your boy Douglas from the Dugout Football channel and Dominic Rich from the Dominic Rich FC channel, I'd like to say thanks to everyone who came through. Thanks to everyone who's watching the replay right now as we speak. Hi, how are you? How you doing? Make sure you like the video. Guys, subscribe if you're new. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.